Boom. Cool. Let's look at what we got here. So this is actually what I was looking at for EURCAD. This is actually the trade that I'm in right now. My entry was at, let me minimize this. Okay, cool. EURCAD I had actually entered at 1.5194, so we're up about 3 pips. I'll break down why I saw this. So I've been looking at this pair for a little bit, and I know we're looking at this big downtrend right here, and I was kind of wondering about that too, but I had stepped out to the weekly chart, and I just had noticed a couple of things. And so what I want to show you guys, my analysis for this one. So you can see this trend line right here. So black is weekly, blue is going to be daily, and then orange is 4-hour, just like always. So my bias is definitely bullish on EURCAD, and here's why. So we have this downtrend right here. We can even maybe even draw this like such, like that. Except I like to get the wicks in there, especially on the weekly chart, because there's a lot of data that you can kind of miss if you don't get the wicks in there. So trend lines really just help me. The reason that I draw trend lines is just to see if there's shift in trends and stuff like that. So this weekly trend line that we have on this little downtrend right here has been broken and actually retesting. So since it's broken, I drew this daily trend line. I'll redraw this so you guys can kind of see what I'm looking at. So I drew it from this point to that point right there. So I'm getting this wick, and we also got this little rejection right here. And then look at this candle, this rejection candle that we're getting right here. So this is still the weekly time frame. Let me step out to the daily. Whoever's mic that is, can you go ahead and mute yourself, please? So here is the daily chart. So it still kind of looks like we're in a downtrend. And so the reason that I think that we're going to be reversing trends here is because of the 4-hour. So we're actually making floors on the 4-hour chart. So you can see there's a floor. And then you can also see it's creating a floor right there as well too. So floor. So our bias, my bias is bullish on the weekly, daily. We can even look at the 12-hour, and it looks like it's making higher highs and higher lows. So if you guys go back over market structure, so this lower high right here has been broken, and this lower low. So this is what I'm looking at. So we have this lower low, this lower high. It makes a lower low and then comes up, breaks this lower high, and tests as support. It's not the prettiest, but you can see right there, somewhere in here, is where this lower high gets broken and is tested as a floor. So this ceiling floor right there, and then now we're heading up on the 4-hour. Let me kind of clean this up for you guys. The other confirmation that I have for this, if we step out to the daily, here's a daily floor right here, this daily zone, and this has actually been broken and retested as well too. So let me open up this chat really quickly. 12-hour chart. Ian, that's my man. Ian put me onto the 12-hour chart. I've just been something that I've been testing out. Just you kind of see some wacky charts up here. So I got the weekly, the daily, the 23-hour, the 12-hour, the 8-hour, the 4-hour, and then even all the way down to the 3-minute. So just kind of testing some things with a new strategy. Ian wants me to show you guys the 23. This honestly was a game changer for me. It looks goofy, but you can see structure so well in this, and I love it. And here, let's look at this example right here. So I love when it just looks like staircases like this. So comes down, pull back, comes down, pulls back. and then comes down. If we go back to our candles, you can see it's just a really clean structure. It's just really flowing, and it's a little bit more noticeable in some other pairs. I've been messing around with the 23, but yeah, if you guys get the chance, mess around with the 23 chart. And all I did was, if you go down to this little arrow right here on TradingView, drop that down. You can actually pop in whatever you guys want. So you can even do like a 26-hour chart, and then you just click add. I'm not going to add that because I don't know what a 26-hour chart would look like. I don't really want to mess around with that. But okay, so we will go back to this trade. So this is really cool. So this is a trade that I entered. Some of you guys have been kind of confused on how I enter trades and stuff like that, and what I mean by entering on the 15-minute chart. So what I wanted to do was kind of show you guys, why I took this and how I was looking at this. So what I noticed, I break out the fib from low to high. So I drew it from this low to this high right there. And now we got a 38.2 retracement. I know it came to the 50, but it just tapped the 50, came back up, closed above the 38.2 and continued. So this is our first higher low on the 4-hour chart. So now what I'm going to do, just to get a little bit more clarity, is draw my fib from that low to that high. So this low to this high. You can see this daily zone right here. Clean break and a retest back. We get this little indecisive candle right here. So this is probably during dead gap. Actually, I know that was during dead gap, so there was nothing really going on. So we just have, some consolidation in this little candle. So let me show you on the 1-hour chart. You can even see we have 2 rejections. So it's creating a floor right there. And then now this is where this gets really cool. So you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 taps on the 30-minute chart. So this is definitely becoming, it's definitely finding some type of floor right here. And if you look, it even tests this high perfectly. So if you can see right there, look at that. Literally came perfectly. If you had a buy order right there, that would be crazy. But we don't take those. At least I don't set pendings and stuff like that. And so now this is where this gets really cool. Is let's step down to the 15-minute chart. Look at this consolidation. Right there. So you can see price is just kind of like doing his thing back and forth. And then check this out. So we're getting actually a break and retest on the 15-minute chart. So what we can do is draw it from these highs. And I'm just going to get rid of these arrows for you guys. So we can kind of clean this up. Cool. And so now what we can expect is even price to come back down to right there. Come back down to my entry. And then continue up. Then we go down to the 4-hour. So our first take profit. So our entry is going to be once price comes back down and tests these ceilings right here. So this is a ceiling right there. Show you guys on the line chart. So ceiling, ceiling, and even one more ceiling right here. Go to the candles. Ceiling's broken, and now it's being retested. And we can even head to the 5-minute chart. And what do we have? We have an uptrend structure. Look, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. We can go to the line chart. Look at that. I would love for this to maybe even come back down one more time and test this support. Because you can even see now in the 5-minute chart, look at the ceiling that it was creating. So ceiling, 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 ceiling. And then now it has become a floor right there. So making floors, it's making higher highs and higher lows. And this is all based off of our structure on the 4-hour. So this is how I take entries. You guys just watch the secret sauce on entries. And it looks like we're still 2 pips in profit. And then I set my stop loss 23 pips, and we're going to go for our first take profit's going to be, I think it's only like 33 pips just to partial out. So our first take profit is going to be at 1.5223. Second take profit is going to be 58 pips at 1.5252. And then I believe our third take profit will be up here for almost 100 pips, up at 1.5293. So a risk reward of 4.32 if it gets all the way up here. I think it's definitely got some gas to get up there, because if we go to the daily chart, I mean, everything is just saying uptrend. We do kind of need to be aware of this little floor right here. So once it breaks past this floor, then we'll definitely be in the clear. But I mean, I think we definitely have a lot of signs for bullish momentum. So pretty confident in this trade. But I mean, who knows? Even the best trades that look like they couldn't fail can still fail. So what time frame do you base your structure on? Are you answering? Are you talking to Brittany? Okay, cool. All right, so that's for EURCAD, and then I wanted to look at some GBP pairs for you guys. So this is actually what I marked up last Sunday for you, and now it's actually coming into play. So GBP is very, very bullish right now. This is a very, very clean break. So now what I want to see it do is just simply come back down, test either this high or this ceiling or this ceiling. So we can even come back down here into this area, and then head back up. Take profit 1 at 0. Take profit 2 at -27. So this one we're gonna have to watch and wait for it to set up. Some of you guys, I don't know if you guys like to trade, in the lower time frame charts. I don't like doing that. I don't like trading back towards, where my entry is going to be, just because where was I at? What was I watching last night? I think it was GBP CAD. Yep. So on GBP CAD, the reason that I didn't get into GBP CAD, I had this marked up. If it broke, it came back down, retested, and all the way back up to here. So I would have gotten like a wick entry with a wick take profit. But the one thing that I didn't like was that it didn't come back to this 38.2. So I didn't really consider this a true pullback. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my fib and draw it from this low right there to this high right there. So now what I wanted to do is, you can see that it made this 4-hour ceiling right here. It actually coincides perfectly. This 4-hour zone coincides perfectly with the 38.2, and we even have this daily trend line as well too. That's trending upwards. So really excited about these GBP pairs. I even think this could come down and we can still hit our first take profit with this ceiling being right here. This is a daily zone. We'll step out to the daily chart for you guys. So it looks like it's finally breaking out of this range right here. So it kind of faked out, and then we'll see if it makes a floor. If it makes a floor right here, I'm pretty confident it will, because that's a pretty decisive break right there with the candle like that. So I'd love to see this come down and then just keep continuing up into the 1.177 range on GBP CAD, which also falls in line with our EURCAD analysis as well too, heading up. So keep in mind, EURCAD and GBP CAD don't have to move the same. They can move similar in similar directions, but they don't always have to move the same. So you can even see this structure on GBP CAD is way, way different than EURCAD. So you see how this range. We go to EURCAD, it's not even the same structure. So we just know that we are buying XXX GBP AUD, this pair is just going crazy right now. Made the ceiling right here. Same thing had happened with GBP CAD that I had just showed you guys. I didn't want to take this one just because this pullback was kind of in no man's land. It didn't come back to the ceiling. I still think price needs to come back to the ceiling so I could even see it. You know, if it starts to reverse, I'd love to see price even come back to the 61.8 right there. I think price definitely has to come back to that zone. Yeah. So it's just gonna keep pushing up. I mean, that's a pretty strong uptrend for sure. 452 bips. So we can expect to pull back on this one and then tap this daily zone right here and then just keep continuing up. A lot of buyers are probably present in the market right here. And then let's look at GJ. Ian called out probably the most perfect GJ trade. If you guys got in that, congratulations. That trade was awesome. Cool. So same thing with GBP JPY as the other GBP pairs. So this is why I'm pretty excited about all these GBP pairs is because they're finally breaking out of all these ceilings and making higher highs and higher lows and everything. For this one, I see this coming back to this daily zone or this daily ceiling, which coincides with the 50. I can even see it coming back down. We get some wicks down even to the 61.8. So if we go to the 4 hour, we have this ceiling right here, which coincides with the 50. Could come back to the 50, but I don't really like answering off of the 50. Cool. That's pretty much it for these are the pairs that I'm pretty much watching. Euro GBP. I really like how this is trending. This is really clean. So we have our lower low, our lower high, our lower low, lower high. It looks like we're making our lower low. So now it looks like we need to make our lower high and then continue down. So if you guys can see that, just trending really nicely. This is, I mean, it doesn't get any more textbook than this. Even step up to the 8-minute, I think you can see it pretty well. Except for this little wick right here. So lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And I would like to see it create a lower high right here, which would also fall in line with our fib level of 38.2. So I just use the fibs as kind of like a confirmation just to see where the valid pullbacks are, and where all the zones and stuff. So I know that this gives me confidence that this is a strong daily zone because we have one tap and the price kind of hesitated right here and then just blew straight through it. So you can see right here on the 4 hour as well too. So price just completely just disrespected this level, bounced off it one time. Buyers tried to push price up and then sellers just tore through that level. US 30, it's just in a range right now. So nothing really much going on in here. You can see made this ceiling, made a floor, made a second floor, and then kind of wanted to come up into our daily zone right here. Look at this. This is definitely a shift in momentum. It's made a higher high and a higher low, and then it broke this structure right here. So this would be this move right here would be our lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, but then price shifted directions. So now we can probably see something like that. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Completely disrespects this range. Cool. USD JPY, I was in this trade yesterday. It actually hit my first take profit, but then you can see it kind of just fell into the range. I was kind of disappointed. I was really hoping that I would hit my second and third take profit, but that's okay. I had all my stops at 10 pips in profit, so I woke up in this morning to my first take profit hit, and then all my other trades plus 10 pips. So didn't really make much, but didn't really lose much either. This is gold. I was actually revisiting gold for the first time in a long time, and I actually just forgot about how clean gold moves. I forgot why I don't like this pair, but I think it's because I took too many wrong trades on this one when I was first trading, and it just moved kind of whack for me. So this one, we're same thing with the DXY. I don't know if I went over this, but we're kind of in this range right here, so price isn't really going anywhere. It made this double top right here. We have the ceiling, and now it's kind of falling back to this support right here. So we're kind of in no man's land. I'll go back to gold here, and you can kind of see the same thing. So made this ceiling, made this floor, made this ceiling, made this floor. So my best guess is gold is either going to, so for me to get into gold, I would need to see it break this floor, come back up, retest, and then drop down to this support right here. Or gold could just come back up to our resistance right there. Euro USD, same thing. This pair is just looking really ugly to me. I'm probably going to stay out of Euro USD. I think there's better setups than Euro USD. I really just don't see any direction in price. So we can kind of see we're hanging around this equilibrium level. Won't be taking any Euro USD trades anytime soon, at least until we break, this low. Then my first take profit would maybe be here. I mean, I think I'm gonna stay out of Euro USD for a little bit. I just don't like. That's just way too messy for me. Just eat up a lot of equity that doesn't need to be eaten up. So same thing with Euro. This is what I was talking about in the group chats. So a lot of the Euro pairs are just consolidating. You see we have the equilibrium here. We have the floor. We have the ceiling. Then we have our equilibrium level. Price is kind of just hanging out, not really doing much. So for me to get into any EJ buys, I would need to see it break this high right here. Or for me to sell this, I would need to see it break this low and then retest, like always. AUD USD, I think on Sunday, I just had this straight coming down. And looks like that's what price is doing. But price on AUD USD is still showing no real direction. Maybe we can find a cleaner setup on the 8-hour chart. I don't really like, how this is moving. It's just moving really slow for me, and I think I'm just gonna stay out of AUD USD as well too. Let's look for some different setups. Euro AUD actually looks like it's moving pretty well. So if it breaks this ceiling, comes back down and retests, definitely be answering this one too. Yeah, check that out. So same thing with Euro AUD. The reason that I was staying out of this one was because it was just not really giving me any direction still. So now that we have this candle, hopefully this just keeps pushing up and up and up, and then we get a retest and we find some sort of floor right here. Be careful with Euro AUD rather, just because what they could be doing is just faking people out and then maybe just come right back into the range. So we definitely want to be cautious on EA if you're going to be taking buys, and then make sure that it creates this floor right here, and then I could see it continuing upwards. So that's my analysis. I think I'm going to watch EURAUD. We'll make this orange. And then Bitcoin. I was just messing around with Bitcoin. This looks a lot like XRP. Just in a range. Again, same thing with Euro USD, AUD USD, Euro JPY. I think something's going on with like dollar. Dollar's just not really, pushing price around. I think this could just range for a little bit. So if this does come back down here, I would want to see it create more of a floor, and then even just head back up here to this area. So I was going to be trading this first take profit at equilibrium, move the stop loss to break even, and then for second take profit at the ceiling right here, which would be right around 3,800. And then XRP, same thing, looks literally almost the exact same. So a lot of these cryptos look really, really similar to each other. So see, we're creating this floor. This one right here was actually a stop hunt. So collected all the stops, got all the sell stop orders, and we're getting people to go short. They reversed the market, brought back up. I actually got caught in this stop hunt right here. I think my stop loss was like, I think my entry was like right there. I think my stop loss was at like 31, 35, I think. Yep. So kind of a bummer. So nothing I can really do. I followed my rules, used good risk management. So not really too bummed about that. But is it too fast? 9 pairs so far. Wow. Not sure what you mean. Okay, so if you guys want to see me mark up a clean chart, go ahead and give me a pair that's not on here, and I can mark up a clean chart for you guys, and I can kind of break down why you guys, or how I would do that. USD MXN. I was actually looking at the Mexican peso earlier, so you can look at that pair. Cool. All right, so again, I always start. Ooh, this is ugly. This is a very, very, very big downtrend. Okay, since I don't really see like much structure in here. He's giving me a challenge. All right, we're gonna mark this up. I'm gonna step up to the weekly just to see if, okay, so I think I marked this pair up before on one of these webinars. I see a ceiling right there. I'm gonna make this black for weekly. So why? So why I put my resistance right here and not right here is because I want to catch this data right there. And then you got to keep in mind too, price comes to zones. It doesn't just come to a specific area. It doesn't just come exactly to one price level and then just reject off of. Comes to these zones, it can kind of hang out a little bit. And then so this one's a little bit tricky as well too. I think I would probably put maybe right here just to catch this wick right here. So catch that one, have that floor right there. We get this little wick right here. We have this fake out right here. You probably could have been trading this on the 4-hour though. And then if we go to the line chart, you can see that price is just being supported by this area. We just have more taps. You can see we got this wick right here, this wick right here, that one, almost that wick right there. So I like where this is set, and then I'm going to draw my zone. which I did. Put that right there. So now we have our weekly zone. And since this is in consolidation, I'm going to draw fib, draw the equilibrium. Get rid of the fib. And now we step down to a lower time frame, see if we can kind of get, okay, cool. I was actually going to draw a daily support and resistance right here. And that equilibrium is actually perfect for the daily support resistance. Just going to get rid of that because it's in the zone. I mean, really doesn't get any much better than that. I mean, we got this ceiling floor 2 times right there, comes back down, taps it one more time. I mean, this is definitely a good area that this could come back to. So what I'm going to do is start to look for entries. So I have the 38.2. So I'm thinking that price could even come back up to this zone up here. Right there. And then this has got a lot of downward momentum. So I can even see price come back down right there. And that is my market for USD MXN. Not the cleanest, but it is what it is. I mean, yeah, you have this little fake out right here, but you can see that this is the true floor. And then price kind of came up here and faked everyone out. And then the zone is holding up here. Yeah, like this. Yeah, I might have to start trading the USD Mexican peso. This is my markup for USD MXN. This also is in a range too, so I mean it could just drop straight to this floor right there. But I think it has a better chance of, yep, it is a little bit oversold too. Quite a bit oversold actually. So it could come back up to equilibrium and then drop down. You hit the curveball, lol. Yep. All right, let's look at USD ZAR. I've never even looked at this pair one time in my life. Yeah, I mean, right away you can just see that it's in consolidation. You guys are funny. Ugh, yeah, this is gross. I don't even know where to start on this one. This one's just no structure. Really know where to draw a trend line. Man, I didn't. This pair is ugly. Ian, is that you?
Dude, don't mark this up. One candle is like 700 pips.
Dude, this is the most whack structure I've ever seen in my life, dude. I'm not even gonna mark this up.
I'm telling you, measure one candle. It's like, it's fucking ridiculous.
All right, well, look at this candle. This one right here, the fat wick.
No, dude, just measure a small candle. Like,
oh my god,
yeah,
is that 12,000 pips?
yeah.
Holy crap! That was crazy. 12,000 pips. Damn, dude, you could retire in a day.
You have to trade this on like
Literally in
15
one day.
minutes.
Yeah. Oh, even the 15 minutes gross, dude. Yeah, we're good. I'm staying way far away from this guy. It's disgusting. Uh, Anybody else want me to look at a pair for you guys to mark up or anything like that?
Do gold.
Already over here. I already marked up gold. Gold. What does marking up equilibrium do? Marking up equilibrium is just a price that, or an area that price can have a reaction around. It's not really, it's not really support or resistance. It's just think of equilibrium as it's kind of like a magnet. So if you're in consolidation and it hits a ceiling, it's going to hit equilibrium and then bounce off of, and then probably break through, retest equilibrium, and then go head towards support. I hope that kind of clears some confusion up here. We'll just go to gold for you guys because I know this is consolidating. But so this consolidation right here. So you see, you can kind. Ian described this better than I did. I was reading an article one time, and I was just curious one day at work, and I just typed in, how do you get really good at trading ranges? And I just stumbled across an article. It said, draw an equilibrium point right in the middle of the range, and it'll give you kind of like an idea of give you some more clarity on like where price can react at. So you can see we have this ceiling right here. Price came down, bounced off of. It's really more for just trading ranges. If you guys haven't even mastered trend trading, higher highs, higher lows, lower lows, and lower highs, I wouldn't even recommend trying to tackle trading ranges. I'm just kind of throwing you guys this. So as you guys progress and as you guys start to notice ranges and stuff like that, you guys can maybe take a stab at it. So I personally don't really like trading ranges. I think it's just a little bit too risky just because like this candle right here, I'm sure everybody who bought gold right here just got wiped out right there with that candle and left their stop losses. Everybody was selling this candle right here, so everyone saw this fat at the time. I guarantee you can look back. Yeah, so I guarantee you so many people were selling this long candle right here. So sell, 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 sell. And then market makers just brought price right back up, all the way back up here. So you kind of stutter stepped right here, have a little double top. And I'm sure people thought that this was like a break and retest or something, like right here. They were like, oh, there's, a floor right there, a ceiling, I'm gonna sell this. And then they say, just kidding, right back up to the ceiling up there. So that's what they do, guys. That's literally how they trap you guys and eat up your equity. So to answer your question, it's equilibrium is just kind of an area where price reacts around. I don't really know how to describe that more in detail. You're the first to mention that level. Crazy makes sense. It's from quarter point theory. Yeah, again, I was reading an article and it just gave me that idea. So if you guys want to know like why it actually happens, talk to Ian. He can break it down for you guys in more detail than I can. So Aaron, I know that you said that you wanted me to look at a pair with a clean chart. I marked up the Mexican peso. Really, I would just say that I look for structure. So if I see like really messy structure on the daily, I'll step up to a higher time frame. I'll use the weekly. If structure is really messy. I was even doing this with EURCAD just because EURCAD was kind of messy too. So I even stepped up to the monthly chart just to give me that extra verification. You can see that this is definitely in an uptrend. You can even get this trend line right here. I'm gonna use red for monthly. And price is still maintaining structure on the monthly chart. So you can see all these bounces off the monthly trend line. Bounce, 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 bounce. And then we have this little inner weekly trend line. This isn't the daily one. Right there. So if we step up to the weekly, you see that I drew this trend line from this wick and got this one in there, this one, and then now we're getting this rejection off of there. And it looks like our trade is just kind of consolidating around a little bit, not really going anywhere. We'll probably take off during London. It's about 4 pips in profit on that one. Use a 23 pip stop loss. Going for 100 and take profit 3. So that's pretty much it, guys. I appreciate all of you guys for hopping on. Seriously, it means a lot. And if we can break 25 participants, I will do 5 one-on-ones. I'll do 5 one-on-ones with everyone if we can get 25 people on. So I'll just kind of randomly pick and choose, and you guys get to hang out with me on the charts for 30 minutes to an hour or so. So appreciate you guys for hopping on. I'm going to stop recording.